I'm Noah with Kreitler Rollers, and today I'm going to show you how to ride your rollers for the very first time. To the unfamiliar, riding rollers looks precarious and even downright scary. However, in our over 30 years of producing Kreitler rollers, we found that the learning curve, although somewhat steep, is remarkably short. In fact, most cyclists are about 80% comfortable by the end of their very first session. Today I'm going to show you 7 tips that are going to help you become really proficient in a very short period of time. Tip number 1 is to have some support within arm's reach. As you can see here, we're using a ladder for that purpose. But setting up next to a wall, in a narrow hallway, or in a doorway are other good examples of good places to set up. If your rear brake is on the right side of your handlebar, we recommend setting up your support system on your left side. This is going to help you with the dismounting process, which we're going to cover later. For obvious reasons, we don't recommend that you use a window for your support or have anything like a glass coffee table nearby while you're training. It's a myth that if you ride off the rollers during training, then you'll go flying across the room. In fact, if you don't believe us, check out our Instagram page where we did a little bit of a Mythbusters on that very scenario. Tip number 2 is to find your starting gear. We found that the ideal starting gear for most people is somewhere in the middle of your cassette in the back, and in your little ring if you're on a compact or traditional road double, your middle ring if you're on a mountain or road triple, and your big ring if you're on a mountain double crank set. Obviously, if you're on a 1x setup, you have little choice of your front chainring. In that case, you may find it a little bit easier to start in a taller gear in the back. The goal here is to find a gear that will support your body weight as you start pedaling, not have you spinning like a hamster in a hamster wheel or struggling to turn the cranks over. Tip 3 is you want to take it one step at a time. Even though you may be really comfortable on the trail or on the road in clipless pedals, a lot of people find for their very first roller sessions they're more comfortable in athletic shoes or flat-soled shoes. Not having to worry about being clipped in is going to give you one less thing to worry about. As well, if you do accidentally come off, you're not going to slip across the floor and do the accidental splits. Additionally, clipping into single-sided road pedals can be a little tough while you're learning rollers, and it's a skill to work on in its own right. Tip 4 we call clock in and commit. To get going, you want to position one foot on the ground or on the frame and one foot at 12 o'clock. In one fluid motion, you want to drive the foot that's on the pedal down, while at the same time picking up your other foot and clipping in or getting on the pedal. Now that you're riding, when you feel comfortable, experiment with taking your hand off your support and placing it on the bars. Know that your support is right there should you need it. Tip 5 is reprogramming no to go. To keep the rollers going, you need to fight the instinct to stop pedaling anytime things get wobbly. In fact, sometimes you need to up your cadence or increase your force on the pedals to regain your balance on the rollers. Similar to what's called a dead sailor in mountain bikes and BMX jumping, when you stop pedaling, you tend to start tipping over to the side you last drove with. Begin to feel the relationship between your balance and your pedaling stroke, noticing that your left and right strokes have an effect on your centeredness. Tip number 6 is a 3-parter. Part 1, look ahead. Part 2, lighten your grip. And part 3, settle in with your butt. Reposition your gaze about 10 feet in front of you. If there's something like a wall or other impediment closer than 10 feet in front of you, soften your gaze and virtually look right through it. Alternatively, set something in front of you to focus on, or pick something to focus on in that rough area. You want to avoid looking down at the drums, as this will create an unstable ride environment. A death grip on the bars will exacerbate any instinctual or accidental input you put into the bike. Slightly arch your lower back inward, then drive your butt back. Engage your core to help keep your upper body still and mitigate any unwanted movement you're putting into the bike. Tip 7 is stop on your own terms. When you're ready to stop, simply stop pedaling and reach for your support. Unclip your pedal if you're clipped in, and grab your rear brake or whatever brake you have that's accessible with your free hand. Well, that's it for this video. Be sure you check out our other videos which cover some drills you can use in training with rollers, the installation of our various accessories, and the setup of our rollers themselves.